Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening.
The atmosphere in the dimly lit conference room was thick with anticipation. Ryan adjusted his glasses as he scanned the room filled with Earth's top scientists and a few representatives from the Virian delegation. Today marked the first official meeting with the Virians since their arrival, an event that promised groundbreaking developments in interspecies relations and technology exchange. Across the table, a Virian named Liana sat composed, her luminescent skin subtly shifting colors under the ambient light, a sign of her people's emotional expressions. Next to Ryan, Dr. Henrik Weber, a renowned linguist, leaned over and whispered, "Remember, their expressions are quite literal. Gestures mean a lot." Ryan nodded and turned his attention to the Virian emissary, who began the meeting with a traditional greeting. "We come to share and learn in peace," the emissary's translator device articulated in a smooth, almost musical tone. "Thank you for your trust," Ryan replied, matching the formal tone of the exchange. "We hope to build a lasting relationship that benefits both our species." The discussion veered towards scientific exchange, with Ryan presenting Earth's recent advancements in renewable energy. Liana interjected with keen interest. "Your solar fusion project could greatly complement our bioluminescence applications. Could you elaborate on the energy yield comparisons?" Ryan, thrilled at her interest, detailed the project specs, explaining the intricacies with the aid of a holographic display. The Virians, with their advanced technology, watched intently, their faces illuminated by the projections of sun-like energy. As the meeting adjourned, Liana approached Ryan. "I found your presentation quite enlightening. Could we perhaps discuss this further over a meal?" she suggested. Her direct approach was typical of Virian culture, where personal and professional interactions often blended seamlessly. "Absolutely," Ryan agreed, intrigued by the prospect of one-on-one time with a Virian scientist. "There's a great place not far from here, offering a good taste of Earth's cuisine." They walked through the bustling streets, Ryan pointing out landmarks and explaining Earth's cultural nuances. Liana listened intently, her eyes reflecting the city lights. "It's fascinating," she said, "how your people preserve history even as you build the future." At the restaurant, they chose a secluded booth. As they sat, Ryan noticed the subtle changes in the colors on Liana's skin, now a calming shade of blue. "So, what's a typical meal for you?" he asked, perusing the menu. "We absorb energy from our environment, but when visiting, we partake in local customs," Liana explained, selecting a dish at random to honor the custom. The meal progressed with discussions ranging from scientific theories to the challenges of interspecies diplomacy. Ryan shared stories of his early days as a researcher, drawing laughter from Liana with a particularly embarrassing lab mishap. As they left the restaurant, Liana paused, looking up at the night sky. "You know, Ryan, back on Viria we have a saying, to share a view of the stars is to share a part of one's soul. Thank you for this evening." Ryan smiled, feeling an unexpected connection. "The pleasure was all mine. Perhaps next time, you can show me the stars from Viria's view." They exchanged a look of mutual respect and a promise of future collaborations, stepping into the cool night, their path illuminated by the possibilities of what lay ahead. After their successful first encounter, Ryan invited his colleague, Dr. Marcus Lee, an astrophysicist, to join the next meeting with Liana. They were scheduled to take a short trip aboard the Virian orbital shuttle, an opportunity to discuss potential collaborations in space technology. As they approached the shuttle launch site, Marcus expressed his enthusiasm. "I've read about their propulsion technology," he said, adjusting his jacket against the evening chill. "It's supposedly light years ahead of ours. I'm eager to see it in action." Ryan nodded, equally eager. "It's not every day you get to ride in an alien spacecraft. Let's make the most of it." They were greeted at the launch pad by Liana, who seemed pleased to see Ryan again and intrigued by the addition of Marcus. "Welcome, Dr. Lee," she said, extending a hand. "I hope this flight will provide us with many insights." The trio boarded the sleek shuttle, its interior bathed in a soft, ambient light. As the shuttle began its ascent, the absence of any significant G-force was a testament to the advanced Virian technology. "Remarkable," Marcus commented, watching the Earth recede on the live feed. Your inertial dampeners are incredible. There's hardly any sensation of movement. Liana smiled. Yes, it allows us to travel comfortably. It's designed to be harmonious with our physiology. Once in orbit, Liana led them to a viewing deck, where panoramic windows offered breathtaking views of Earth. The city lights twinkled like a network of neural pathways, sprawling across the dark expanse of the planet. It's beautiful, isn't it? Ryan said, his gaze fixed on the planet below. Seeing Earth from this perspective never gets old. It puts things into perspective, Marcus added, pulling out a small notebook. Makes you think about how small our problems really are. Liana joined them at the window. It's similar for us when we view Viria from space. It reminds us of our place in the cosmos. Their conversation shifted to the possibilities of joint missions, exploring not just space but also each other's technologies and knowledge. Liana outlined some of the Virian projects that could benefit from human ingenuity. Your solar fusion project, Ryan, could be integrated into our energy systems, she suggested. And perhaps our environmental control technologies could help manage your climate issues. That sounds like a fruitful area for collaboration, Ryan replied, intrigued by the potential. And what about deeper space exploration? Any plans there? We have long-range probes, Liana explained. But we could certainly benefit from human creativity. Our technologies have advanced, but fresh perspectives bring new solutions. Marcus, ever the dreamer, chimed in. Imagine a joint exploratory mission to the outer planets, combining our tech and know-how. I like that, Liana said, her eyes reflecting the stars. A true partnership, not just sharing knowledge but creating new frontiers together. As the shuttle began its descent back to Earth, the three discussed potential steps for their proposed collaborations. Emails and data packets were exchanged, along with promises of further meetings and detailed proposals. When the shuttle touched down, the cool night air felt refreshing after the warmth of the cabin. Ryan turned to Liana, extending his hand. Thank you for this, Liana. Tonight was eye-opening. Liana took his hand, her skin faintly glowing. The pleasure was ours, Ryan. We look forward to working together. As Marcus and Ryan walked away from the landing site, their heads were filled with possibilities. The night had not only strengthened their professional ties, but had also sown the seeds of a profound interstellar partnership. In the days following their orbital adventure, Ryan found himself at his office desk, unable to focus on his usual work. His mind replayed the conversations with Liana and Marcus about the potential for human-Virian collaborations. He was particularly distracted by the memory of Liana's glowing skin and the way the stars had reflected in her eyes. Ryan's colleague, Dr. Jasper Kim, a bioengineer, noticed his distraction. You seem miles away, Ryan. Everything okay with the Virian project? Jasper asked, peering over his laptop. Yeah, it's just, I can't stop thinking about all the possibilities, Ryan admitted, tapping his pen against his notebook. But also, I'm a bit worried about how quickly things are moving. Jasper raised an eyebrow. In what way? Ryan sighed. It's the scale of integration they propose. It's not just about technology. It's cultural, biological. He trailed off, unsure how to voice his fears of the unknown implications. Understanding dawned on Jasper's face. It's a lot to take in. Maybe you need to discuss these concerns more in depth with Liana and see where she stands. Nodding, Ryan decided to do just that. He arranged a meeting with Liana, this time including Jasper for his expertise in bioengineering, especially given the biological questions that had arisen. When Liana arrived at their lab, she greeted Jasper warmly, appreciating his involvement. I'm glad you're here, Dr. Kim. I believe your insights will be invaluable today, she said. Jasper smiled. I'm curious about the biointegration aspects. How do you see our species potentially blending our technologies? Liana laid out her thoughts. Our environmental control technologies, for example, have adapted to our physiology, but they can be recalibrated to suit human environments. We could start with controlled experiments. Ryan listened, then added, what about the ethical implications? How do we address those? The idea of blending technologies is exciting but also raises significant concerns. Liana nodded solemnly. That's a valid point, Ryan. We anticipate debates and possibly even resistance to such deep integration. Perhaps a joint ethical committee could oversee the experiments. Jasper suggested a phased approach might work. We can start small, observe the outcomes, and scale up if things go well. Regular reviews, transparency with the public, and strict adherence to both our world's ethical standards. That sounds reasonable, Ryan said, feeling a bit relieved. We need to ensure we're not rushing into this without proper checks. The trio spent the next few hours discussing potential first steps, focusing on non-invasive technologies that could benefit both species without immediate biological integration. They agreed to propose a pilot project at the next interspecies conference, focusing on environmental adaptation technologies. As the meeting concluded, Liana thanked them both. This conversation has been extremely productive. Your concerns are important, and addressing them openly will help ensure our partnership is sustainable. Jasper, always the optimist, clapped Ryan on the back as they walked out. See, getting those concerns out in the open has already started to clear the fog. Ryan grinned. Thanks, Jasper. And thank you, Liana. I feel better knowing we're taking this step by step. As Liana departed, Ryan watched her go, his mind a mix of excitement and caution. The path they were embarking on was uncharted, but with careful planning and open dialogue, it promised to be one of the most exciting ventures of his career. A month after their agreement on a pilot project, Ryan met with his project team, including Dr. Marcus Lee and Dr. Jasper Kim, in their lab to review the initial results. The lab was a buzz of activity, screens displaying real-time data and simulations of environmental control systems designed for both human and virion physiology. Marcus, looking over the data with a frown, turned to Ryan. The results are promising, but there's an anomaly in the energy output whenever we simulate virion environmental settings. Have you noticed this? Yes, I saw that, Ryan replied, examining the graphs. It spikes unexpectedly. We should ask Liana about it. Could be something typical in virion technology we're not aware of. Jasper chimed in, tapping his tablet. I'll set up a meeting with her. We need to ensure there's no underlying issue that could affect the project's viability. Later that week, Liana joined Ryan, Marcus, and Jasper in the lab. After a brief discussion about the project's progress, Ryan addressed the anomaly. Liana listened intently, her expression thoughtful. This might be due to the bioluminescent energy our systems use. It's inherently variable. I didn't consider it could cause fluctuations in a combined system. That's interesting, Jasper said, intrigued. Could you provide us with more detailed specs on this bioluminescent energy? We might need to tweak our models to accommodate this variability. Of course, Liana agreed, sending the data to their lab systems. There's another matter I need to discuss, she hesitated, looking unusually uneasy. Ryan noted her tone. What's going on, Liana? It's a bit personal but relevant, she began slowly. I've been experiencing some health anomalies since our last meeting. At first, I thought it was just fatigue, but our medical officer suggested I run a full diagnostic, and Marcus prompted, sensing the seriousness of her tone. I'm pregnant, Liana revealed, her voice steady despite the shock it caused in the room. The men exchanged stunned glances. Jasper was the first to find his voice. But are you saying it happened that night when? Yes, Liana confirmed. When Ryan and I were in orbit, silence filled the room as the implications dawned on everyone. Ryan, whose face had gone pale, finally spoke. Liana, this is unexpected. I mean, we didn't think it was biologically possible. Liana nodded. Neither did we. It appears we have much to learn about each other's biology. This changes a lot, not just for us personally but potentially for interspecies relations. Marcus, always focused on practicalities, asked, What do you want to do? How can we support you? Liana took a deep breath. First, we ensure the health of the baby. I will need to stay here on Earth for continuous monitoring. We also need to consider the confidentiality and political implications. This must be handled delicately, Jasper suggested. A private medical team, one familiar with both human and virion physiology, would be ideal. We can keep the project going while ensuring you and the baby are safe. I agree, Ryan said, recovering from his initial shock. I'm here for you, Liana. Whatever you need. Liana smiled faintly. Thank you, Ryan, Marcus, Jasper. Your support means a lot. We're in uncharted territory, but I believe we can navigate this together. As the meeting adjourned, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. Not only were they pioneering a groundbreaking environmental project, but they were also at the heart of a profound biological discovery. The road ahead would be challenging, but together, they were ready to face whatever came their way. After the revelation of Liana's pregnancy, the team grappled with a multitude of challenges, both scientific and societal. To address these, Ryan convened a strategy session with Dr. Marcus Lee, Dr. Jasper Kim, and Dr. Aaron Mitchell, a renowned expert in xenobiology. In the secure confines of their lab, the team sat around a large conference table littered with digital tablets and holographic displays showing DNA helices and other biological data. So, began Aaron, we are looking at a hybrid organism, part human, part virion. This is unprecedented. We need to establish a baseline for health parameters, both virion and human. Marcus nodded. The interspecies biology could introduce completely novel physiological traits. We must monitor Liana closely, but also consider the broader implications. Ryan, looking pensive, added, there's also the matter of public reaction. We can't keep this under wraps forever. We need a plan for when the news breaks. Jasper, who had been flipping through some data on his tablet, looked up. We need more data to ensure any public statement is backed by solid science. The last thing we need is panic or misinformation. Aaron chimed in. I suggest a two-pronged approach. First, a detailed study of Liana's condition to ensure her and the baby's health. Second, we start drafting a preliminary communication strategy that includes potential scenarios and responses. Agreed, said Marcus. I'll coordinate with the communications team to draft the initial outlines. Jasper, you and I could work on the medical monitoring with Aaron. Ryan, still processing the personal ramifications, finally said, and I'll be liaising with Liana and the Virion authorities. It's crucial they are involved every step of the way. The discussion then turned to the technicalities of monitoring and data gathering, with Aaron outlining the need for new diagnostic tools that could handle the unique biology of the hybrid. We may need to invent new medical scanners or modify existing ones to detect and analyze both human and virion DNA signatures accurately, he suggested. Jasper was quick to pick up the task. I'll start working on adapting our current imaging systems. We'll need real-time data to make informed decisions quickly. As they wrapped up the meeting, the weight of their task was palpable. They were not just managing a scientific project, but were now stewards of a new kind of life that bridged two worlds. Over the following weeks, the lab was a hive of activity. New equipment was brought in, and the team worked tirelessly, often late into the night. They established a secure data room where all information regarding Liana's health was analyzed and stored. Liana, for her part, participated actively in the process, driven by a desire to understand what was happening to her and her unborn child. Her courage and willingness to be at the center of such a pivotal scientific endeavor earned her deep respect from the team. One evening, as they reviewed the latest data together, Ryan turned to Liana. How are you holding up with all this? He asked, genuine concern in his voice. Liana smiled, touching her slightly swollen abdomen. It's overwhelming, but I trust this team. What we're doing here, it's bigger than any of us. It's about the future, our two peoples. Ryan nodded, feeling a mix of admiration and responsibility. We'll make sure you both are safe. That's my promise to you. As Liana left the lab that night, under the protective watch of the team, the city lights sparkled a little brighter, reflecting the monumental task ahead. They were on the brink of a new era, and together, they faced the unknown with determination and hope. The growing attention around Liana's condition made it increasingly difficult for the team to operate under the radar. Paparazzi and news drones began to hover around their lab, sparking urgent discussions among Ryan, Jasper, Marcus, and Liana about relocating to a more secure, less public location. In light of the recent leaks, we need a strategy to manage the information flow and ensure Liana's safety, Marcus suggested as they gathered in a dimly lit conference room, away from curious eyes. Jasper, flipping through digital security reports on his tablet, added, there's a research facility on the orbital platform Zeta. It's primarily used for high-security biological studies. We could continue our work there without the constant media scrutiny. Ryan considered this. Moving to an orbital platform would certainly give us the control we need. Liana, what are your thoughts? Would you be comfortable living in space for the duration of your pregnancy? Liana nodded, her face resolute. I think it's the best option. Earth's media has become too invasive, and the Virian Council is concerned about my safety. Orbital Platform Zeta would provide the neutrality and security we need. Okay, then it's settled. I'll arrange for the transfer and make sure our lab equipment and research data are moved securely, Ryan confirmed, already drafting a list of logistics in his mind. Marcus looked up from his laptop. I'll coordinate with the platform's administration to ensure our arrival and setup go smoothly. We'll need to adapt some of the habitat modules to suit Virian environmental requirements. Jasper, ever the practical one, chimed in. I'll handle the tech transfer and ensure that our communication lines are secure. We can't afford any breaches. As preparations for the move progressed, the team worked around the clock. Transport shuttles were scheduled, and security protocols were tightened. The night before their departure, they gathered for a final briefing. We'll have to be vigilant up there, Jasper pointed out. Once we're on the platform, I'll set up a dedicated secure network for our communications. Only encrypted messages in and out. Marcus nodded in agreement. And I've arranged for continuous medical support from both human and Virian specialists. They'll be joining us on the platform to monitor Liana's health and the baby's development. The following day, they boarded the shuttle to Orbital Platform Zeta. The journey was quiet, each member of the team absorbed in their thoughts about the days ahead. When they docked at the platform, they were greeted by the station's chief administrator, Dr. Alan Sorensen. Welcome to Zeta, Dr. Sorensen said, shaking hands with each team member. We've prepared your labs and living quarters as per your specifications. If there's anything else you need, don't hesitate to ask. Liana looked around, her expression one of relief. Thank you, Dr. Sorensen. It's good to be here, away from the chaos of Earth. Once settled, the team resumed their work with renewed focus. The platform's facilities offered them the latest technology and an unparalleled level of privacy. In the weeks that followed, their research deepened. Ryan and Marcus collaborated closely, developing new protocols for monitoring hybrid health metrics. Jasper, meanwhile, enhanced their data encryption and managed the secure communications network, ensuring that updates were shared with Earth and Virian authorities in a controlled manner. One evening, as they reviewed the day's data, Ryan looked over at Liana, who was watching the Earth rotate slowly below them through the observation deck's large window. How do you feel about all this? He asked, joining her side. It's peaceful here, Liana responded, her hand resting on her belly. It's strange, being so far from both our worlds, yet it feels right. We're creating something new, something that could change how our species view each other. Ryan nodded, his gaze also turning towards Earth. We're in this together, Liana. Whatever comes, we'll face it as a team. Together, in the silence of space, they looked at the blue planet below, their mission clear and their resolve firm. They were not just protecting a new life, but potentially pioneering a new future for two species. Months had passed since the team's relocation to Orbital Platform Zeta, and the time for Liana to give birth was drawing near. The lab had been transformed into a delivery room that accommodated both human and Virian medical technologies, a blend of both worlds under the meticulous eyes of Dr. Jasper Kim and Dr. Marcus Lee. Ryan was busy coordinating with the Virian medical team via secure channels, ensuring that all necessary procedures were understood and agreed upon. Marcus, have the latest medical scans been shared with the team? Ryan asked, looking over at Marcus, who was checking the equipment. Yes, everything's up to date. The Virian doctors are now fully briefed and ready to assist, Marcus replied, double-checking the biomonitoring systems. Jasper, overseeing the setup of the delivery room, added, the hybrid technology integration has been tested and is fully operational. We should be able to monitor the baby's vitals in real time, with both human and Virian parameters. As Liana entered her final stages of pregnancy, Dr. Aaron Mitchell arrived to lend his expertise. I've brought the latest xenobiological research data that might help during the delivery, he announced, handing over a datapad to Jasper. Thank you, Aaron. Let's go over this one more time to make sure we haven't missed anything, Jasper said, scrolling through the information with practiced eyes. The day of the delivery arrived sooner than expected. Liana began experiencing contractions early in the morning. The team was well prepared, having rehearsed the procedure multiple times. They were calm and focused as they supported Liana through her labor. Everything's looking good, Liana. Just follow your breathing exercises and let us know how you feel, Marcus instructed gently, monitoring the readouts that flickered with data. Liana, enduring the contractions with remarkable calm, nodded. I trust you all. Let's meet this little one. As the labor progressed, Ryan stayed close to Liana, offering words of encouragement. You're doing great, Liana. Not long now. After several hours, the moment finally arrived. The room fell silent as the baby was born, a healthy girl crying out her first breaths in a room far from both her parents' home worlds. Jasper, who had assisted in the delivery, was the first to speak. She's perfect, Liana. A beautiful girl. Tears of joy and relief shone in Liana's eyes as she held her daughter for the first time. Hello, my little star, she whispered. The team allowed Liana some time alone with her baby before conducting a thorough medical examination to ensure both mother and child were healthy. The baby was indeed a blend of both species, exhibiting mild bioluminescent patches on her skin like her mother, alongside distinctly human features. Over the next few days, the news of the successful birth spread throughout the human and Virian communities. The story of the first human-Virian hybrid was received with a mix of awe and curiosity, sparking discussions across scientific and diplomatic channels. This is a profound moment, not just for Liana and Ryan, but for all of us, Aaron remarked as the team gathered around the observation deck, watching the stars. We've not only brought a new life into this world, but perhaps started a new chapter in human-Virian relations, Jasper added, looking at the sleeping baby in her crib. Ryan nodded in agreement, his eyes reflecting a mix of pride and responsibility. We've got a lot ahead of us. This little one could change how our species interact forever. As they stood together, the team felt a collective sense of accomplishment and wonder. They had navigated uncharted territory and emerged with a new life that symbolized hope and unity, a testament to the power of collaboration and mutual respect between species. Years had passed since the birth of Liana's daughter, now a vivacious child named Alara. Ryan, Marcus, and Jasper continued their work on orbital platform Zeta, which had evolved into a hub for interspecies collaboration and research. One afternoon, as the station orbited Earth, Ryan and Marcus prepared for an upcoming interstellar conference that would highlight their work and the successful integration of human and Virian technologies. We need to ensure the presentation covers all aspects of our research, especially the developmental milestones of interspecies biology that Alara represents, Ryan instructed, reviewing the slide deck they had prepared. Marcus, tweaking the graphics, nodded. I've included the latest data from Alara's health assessments. It's crucial to show how her existence has opened new pathways in medical science for both species. Jasper joined them, a tablet in his hand. I've just gotten off a call with the Virian Health Ministry. They're extremely pleased with the progress and want to expand the project to include more joint health initiatives. That's excellent news, Ryan said, a smile crossing his face. This could be the start of something even bigger, a new era of medical collaboration. As they worked, Alara played nearby, her laughter a light background to their serious discussions. Her unique physiology had inspired a new field of study that both humans and Virians were eager to explore further. Later that day, the team gathered in the main conference room to conduct a final rehearsal of their presentation. Dr. Aaron Mitchell had flown in to offer his insights and provide additional support. Let's make sure we emphasize the collaborative nature of this project, Aaron suggested. It's not just about the scientific achievements, but also about the peace and understanding that have grown between our species. Ryan began the rehearsal, speaking about the initial challenges and uncertainties they faced. When we first embarked on this project, we had no idea how deeply it would change us. Not just scientifically, but personally and politically. Marcus took over, detailing the technical aspects. The integration of Virian bioluminescence with human biotechnology has led to innovations in energy efficiency and medical diagnostics that were previously unthinkable. Jasper concluded with the societal impacts. Alera's existence has inspired a new generation on both Earth and Viria. She's a living symbol of what we can achieve together. Satisfied with their presentation, the team looked forward to sharing their story with the world. The conference was a success, drawing attention from all corners of the human and Virian societies. Questions about potential future collaborations abounded, highlighting the interest in further explorations of joint ventures. Back on the platform, after the conference, Ryan and Liana watched Alera playing with children from both species. Liana turned to Ryan. "Do you think we'll see more children like her?" Ryan watched Alera, her laughter mingling with the other children's. "I think so. And I hope each one will continue to teach us, just as she has, about the beauty of diversity and the strength of unity." As the station passed into the shadow of Earth, casting a serene gloom interspersed with the twinkling lights of the planet below, the team felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had not only bridged two worlds, but had also laid the groundwork for a future where such unions might become the norm rather than the exception. The story of Ryan, Liana, and Alera would go on to inspire countless others, serving as a poignant reminder of the incredible results that can come from embracing the unknown and working together toward a common goal. Their legacy, rooted in science and cemented in unity, promised a future where the once impossible became everyday reality.